Pronto, Vincenza.
Pronto, Randy, and welcome everyone to our 30-second Pronto podcast, where we discuss all the beautiful things life has to offer, whether it's inspiration, quotes, current events, hot topics featuring influential people and leaders throughout the community. Oh, this lifestyle podcast is just endless with beautiful things to talk about. Welcome, everyone. And Randy, what an intro. We've come a long way. What do you think?
Yeah. We certainly have.
I mean, it was so great just to look back at it. And I hope that, for all of our viewers and listeners that are just tuning in and joining us, that was something we were very excited about. We keep elevating things here on our Pronto podcast, and we're very, very proud of it. Lots of hard work and effort goes into everything that you see. And a shout out to the production team and everybody working so tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure that not just we're shining, but our guests are shining. And that's what it's all about. The wonderful and beautiful people that we get to feature on our Pronto podcast. Yeah. And it's really exciting that we're able to do that here. And what a great intro.
Yeah. And we have a big news. We're launching a website.
Well, why don't you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Pronto podcast.com. And all the episodes will be in one place. Mm-hmm. And you could look back in the first episode or 32nd episodes.
That's right. So check out the Pronto podcast website. As you can see here, here's a little sneak peek as we are so excited to launch it. And there will be more additions added to it as we continue to perfect it. Because if you know Randy and I, we are perfectionists and we push for excellence, as we like to say majority of the time. But if you check out our podcast, you'll be able to go back and listen or watch. We offer both, whether you want to watch the podcast and listen or just listen through Spotify, but check out all of our past episodes. And there's so many wonderful people that we have had the honor of featuring on our Pronto podcast, but just to learn. And, I highly recommend to go check out past episodes, because you're learning something new and you just never know what the takeaway will be. So definitely check it out. I feel Randy and I have been very fortunate to have some, influential people, right?
Yeah. I went back and watched the first episode, and it was, I'd forgotten about it. And it was really good.
Right. It's really been special. And if you see on, just the sneak peek and the glimpse of the website, you'll have an opportunity to be a part of it. So if you're interested in being a guest, go to prontopodcast.com, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, and you could sign up to be a guest. We are very open-minded. This is a lifestyle podcast. We love to feature all walks of life, you name it. If whether you're an author, a small business owner, a hairstylist, a makeup artist, a photographer,
artist,
right? Artist, local artists, nationwide, locally, doesn't matter, whatever. We love to feature so many wonderful people, not just in Delaware, where we are in Wilmington, Delaware, but throughout the country.
Yes.
And we know for a fact our listeners and our viewers are tuning in all over the world. And that's the beauty of podcasting.
One thing we do, people say all the time, they never saw a quality podcast like we do. Like
that's a beautiful compliment.
Yeah. So we're excited.
Yeah. And, we appreciate those compliments. We're working so hard to grow and elevate ourselves to the next level. And, slow and steady wins the race, right, Randy? Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race, and we will get there. And we are always learning and perfecting on our end, but it truly takes a village. So just remember, it's not just the two of us. There's a whole team of people behind us, supporting us and making sure that we're able to shine, but more importantly, making sure our guests are able to shine. And I'm really, really proud of that website as we are able to launch it. But if you're interested, again, in being a guest, go to the prontopodcast.com. Or if you're interested in sponsoring an episode, we're always looking for sponsorships. Yeah. We are very excited to always feature local businesses, but also businesses all around the country. Yeah. Even, we receive so much feedback on, wow, we love what you're doing. Wow, we love that you're featuring people not just in the tri-state area, but all around the country. So it's really exciting that we're able to have such a large audience and viewership.
Yeah. And if you know somebody you want to recommend being on the show, that's available too.
Oh, yes. Yes. Good point. Very good point. We're always up for suggestions. Sky's the limit. So definitely reach out. But again, check out our website. Very proud of it.
Yeah.
If you're interested, again, guest sponsorship, or you just want to tune in and watch and learn, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. So many fun things keep happening here.
Yeah. Before we go on, I want to wish you a happy birthday last week.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, it was my birthday last week. 40 and fabulous.
Wow.
I am very proud of my age, but also I'm a firm believer age is just a number.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's all what's in your heart.
And 40 is a nice age.
Is it?
Like, you know who you are.
Yes.
And you know what you want.
Good to know. Okay, got it. I mean, I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know what I don't want. Thank you so much to the viewers and listeners wishing me birthday wishes. I feel that looking back and reflecting on my 30s, I really loved my 30s. I felt they were the best. And people keep saying, oh, your 40s are even better. I'm like, good. I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it. Sign me up.
I think they say that every 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that about my 20s. I can't say that. I'm thankful for my, the lessons that I learned in my 20s, but my 30s were just exceptional.
Yeah, I think it's 20s a hard age.
Yeah, for anybody, right? Anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. So thank you for the birthday wishes. How have you been? What's going on? What's new?
Really good. Yeah, working hard. I'm leaving for Nashville Saturday morning for a Redkin Symposium.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we're bringing a whole group, I think 7 people, and we'll have dinners and enjoy the show.
Is it an entire weekend?
Yeah, it's I think it's Sunday through Tuesday.
Okay. Got it. Weekend.
Yeah.
Sunday to Tuesday. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So it's educational and fun.
Yeah. And like maybe 6,000 people, hairdressers. So it's really good.
Oh, yeah. Do they give away? Well, I know that it's obviously informative and a great networking and event.
Yeah.
Do they give away new product or feature new product?
They feature.
Okay, no giveaways.
No giveaways.
Okay. I'm like, oh, giveaways. Well, you know me, I love beauty products. So, me, I was like, oh, let me know what's new and coming out.
They're demostrating like techniques.
Okay,
so
that's good to know.
You bring back a lot of techniques that are new and different.
Well, knowing me and beauty products and how much I love to feature beauty products. I told Randy, I was like, Randy, I want to feature these bath bombs that you sell at your locations. I love taking baths. And I think that it's a great time to unwind, relax. And I will touch on the shower bombs that you offer as well that are really great. Yeah. But I wanted to feature the bath bombs. And here, I'm going to show you the presentation of them because I wish you could smell them. They're so beautiful. Oh, the aroma. Yeah. So actually, Randy, if you want to touch on this a little bit more, it's called I'm Italian over here. Ro Casa Organics. So if you want to touch on that a little bit, I would love for you to at least talk about it a little bit, but they smell so good.
Yeah. And in fact, it's organic. It's really great. And the different scents are for different muscle relief or calm, sleep. So there's different fragrances that aid you in different goals.
All right, let's talk about Revive. Okay, I'm revived. Here, Randy, you need, I don't think you need it. You get good sleep, right?
Yeah, I sleep good. And
that
meditate.
Smells like lavender.
Yeah,
that makes sense, right?
Probably the sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, that smells. So they have different aromas, different scents, and it's really beautiful. This presentation in the box right here, as you can see, and they do have them. You could buy single use bath bombs, but I wanted to touch on the shower bombs that you offer here. Right. Wow. I love the shower bombs. So I wish I had an example to show you, but essentially it's like a bath bomb, but you put it in a little net bag and you hang it in in your shower. So while you're taking a shower, from the steam, the aroma is going through the entire shower, and it's so relaxing. I have a lavender one. Highly recommend it. Definitely check out the bath bombs and the shower bombs. All the curry hair, skin, and nails location. Highly recommend. Here, Randy, I'll let you put that.
It's really good because like there's such a focus on self-care and wellness, right? And, in our busy lives, we need to take baths and shower bombs or, have your hair blown out or, anything you can do to relieve the stress and, the speed of life.
Very true. I'm glad you brought that up because life can take over so quickly and you can't control everyday stressors, but what you control is how you react, right?
Right.
And if it helps to navigate stress, it's good to pour into yourself and self-care and take care of yourself. And these are just some great suggestions of taking that moment, taking that time to just give you that self-care moment, self-care time, whatever it may be, and just relax because you need to, because you can't control what, tomorrow will bring. You don't know what tomorrow will bring. You can't control the everyday stressors, but you can control how you take care of yourself.
I love the definition of stress. Like you're worrying about something in the future that hasn't happened yet. So you're putting a lot of energy and worry about something that really doesn't come true.
That's very true. Very true. I mean, we talk about it all the time about different, I guess you would say coping like mechanisms or just a coping strategy to navigate stress. You do it every day. Exercise, yoga, meditation. I think we have one of the episodes that we talk about that we highlight it. One of our episodes, go back to one of our past episodes. We highlight the effects of stress and what can it do to your health, your body, your skin, your hair, your nails, everything. Your thought, your mental state, your thought process. So definitely check out one of the episodes in the past that we highlighted stress, and I think we even talked about the benefits of meditation, yoga. It was the yoga instructor. It's coming back to me now.
He owned a green box.
Yes. There it is. See what's going to come back to us eventually. Well, obviously, we're so excited to feature so many wonderful people. But today we get to feature someone really special and special to me. Randy's smiling. He knows. All right. So without further ado, let's welcome our first guest. Alysa Bainbridge is a speaker, host, mental health advocate, and Miss Delaware USA 2024. With a bachelor's degree in communications from St. Joseph's University and a master's in leadership from Cabrini University, she started her professional career as a news reporter and a fill-in anchor at WRDE Coast TV in Milton, Delaware. She now resides in Newark and continues her on-camera work as a TV host and spokesperson for multiple brands across the region. Alysa has been a motivational speaker, a passionate mental health and recovery advocate for the last 10 years. After losing her brother to opioid addiction, she founded a 501c3 nonprofit organization called Tyler's Triumph in his memory to provide support to people in recovery from mental health and substance use disorders. Alysa has shared her family's story on platforms nationwide, including on SiriusXM Mental Health Radio. She created a copyrighted The More Than program, an educational empowerment program she has presented to thousands of students to promote early mental health intervention and eliminate the stigma around mental health. It is her message and hope that everyone she meets is reminded that they are inherently worthy and more than any diagnosis or struggle they face. Pageants have been a big part of Alysa's life, actually her entire life. She competed in pageants for over a decade and even served as Miss Pennsylvania 2022 and Miss Pennsylvania's Outstanding Teen 2016 in the Miss America organization. Alysa is proud and excited to represent Delaware at Miss USA live in Hollywood, California on August 4th, 2024. Please welcome Miss Delaware USA, Alysa Bainbridge.
Welcome.
Hi, thank
Alysa.
you so much for having me.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. Randy knows how excited I am. He was so funny. When I walked in before we started filming, I was like, Randy, I'm so excited about this episode. And he was too. But Alysa, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
And welcome. Alysa, as we were reading the bio, I mean, really impressive.
Yeah.
Like it really is beautiful to hear it, reading it out loud. Even Randy, I heard him on the side. He goes, wow. Like I was like, right, Randy, reading it out loud.
I couldn't contain myself.
Right. You couldn't contain yourself because, it's a testament of her hard work.
Right.
And her passion. And I love that you're using the crown for a bigger message. It gives you a voice. Right. And, that's something that I really just want to dive right into. Tyler's triumph. It's powerful. It really is. It gave me goosebumps as I was reading it. And even Randy was like, oh my goodness, wow. So let's go right into it. Alysa, I know that, you love pageantry, but it kind of it's a little different when it hits home for you and it goes a little, deeper. What have you done with the title, or let's say, what has pageantry done for you that has offered this microphone to really talk about Tyler's triumph?
It's exactly that. I always say that my crown isn't really a hat. It's more of a microphone. You walk into a room and people are just more inclined to listen to you and take interest in what you're saying. And that's how I always saw pageantry. And mental health is something that I've always been really passionate about from a young age. And I knew that if I got involved in pageantry, I wanted that to be my platform. And I always saw pageantry as an opportunity to have that microphone and really be an advocate for people who may not be able to speak for themselves. And so I have been developing my mental health advocacy platform for over a decade now. I've been an advocate in an official capacity since I was 15, but it's truly my life's passion project because it was my life growing up. It's something that I lived all the time and I still do. And that's because growing up, I had two siblings, an older brother and a younger sister, and both of them struggled pretty seriously with mental illness. And their stories are very different. And I'll get into that. But my brother, he struggled pretty much all of his life with mental health, but in silence. He, went from being someone when he was young and in middle school to getting straight A's, being the life of the party, just a happy-go-lucky, funny guy. And then all of a sudden things took a turn for him. He was depressed. He wasn't coming out of his room. His grades started to slip. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of awareness around, mental illness. And it certainly wasn't talked about. So he suffered in silence and unfortunately turned to substances as a means of self-treating the depression and things that he was dealing with. And he later found out that what he was dealing with all those years, that darkness, as he described it, was bipolar disorder. But unfortunately, by the time he had been diagnosed, he had been pretty deep into a battle with opioid addiction. And he did lose his battle to opioid addiction back in 2018. We lost him to an overdose.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, as you can imagine, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But, I'm someone that I have to find the positive even in the worst and most tragic of situations. Oh, sorry, my ring light is on.
That's all right. We are used to technical difficulties here, but it's how you keep going. And I praise you and I honor you for being so courageous to speak on that story. It does take a lot of courage. It does. And to be honest and open and transparent about, your brother's story and his struggles and using, that to one, I would say shine a positive light to who he was. Because I'm sure I didn't know your brother, right? We don't know your brother, but I'm sure he was a wonderful person. And if he's anything like your family, I mean, your family's just wonderful people. And to continue to speak on him and, and honor him in this way, you're saving lives. You're saving lives by just talking about it and providing the information, the resources.
Yeah. How old were you when that happened?
So I was 19. My brother was 24, and I had I was a freshman in college. I had just started my second semester, was already having a really tough year, just adjusting to college and, making new friends and all of these life changes. So this came at a time when I was already kind of struggling myself. And so my family and I decided really quickly that the only way through it for us was to be those advocates and make sure that it didn't happen to other families. And we got to work pretty quickly to start advocating and educating and getting that nonprofit up and running in Tyler's memory.
Could you touch on a little bit more about the initiatives that you have introduced through Tyler's Triumph?
Absolutely. So Tyler's Triumph aims to do two things mainly. So the first thing we do in terms of raising money, we want to provide financial support, scholarships, whether it be for people to go back to school or maybe to live in a sober living home, wherever it is. We want to meet people who are on their journey to recovery from mental health and substance use disorders where they are and really provide them with whatever kind of support it is that they need. So that's one thing that we do. And then we also really focus on education.
Mm-hmm.
And something that we started to provide that education is called the More Than program. So I have gone into schools, community groups, even businesses and corporations, and spoken to people about mental health, really back to the basics. What is mental health?
Mm-hmm.
How can we get the help we need? What does that help look like? How can we provide and help our friends get the help that they need? So it's really that conversation of making sure young people, especially, I've talked to kids as young as kindergarten age about all of this and how to take care of their mental health. It's about understanding the importance of mental health intervention and where you can go to get it. And I share my family's story, of course, about my brother, but we also have another side of our story that's extremely hopeful and really the opposite, and exemplifies what happens when someone does get really early mental health intervention. And that example is in my little sister, Olivia. I mentioned she also struggles pretty seriously with mental illness, with bipolar disorder and ADHD and some other mental health diagnoses. But she received those diagnoses when she was 5 years old. Mm-hmm. There was just, wow. They were several years apart, my siblings. So by the time my sister had started exhibiting some of these signs of mental health struggles, there was a lot more awareness about it. And my family we got her the help she needed as early as 5 years old. And because we did that, her story could have ended the way my brother's did, but instead she has been, in treatment and just thriving for the last 22 years. And mm-hmm. she's now in school to become a school counselor herself and help other people. So I like to share that story with kids to show them that mm-hmm. there is hope. Yes, there are serious consequences and tragedies that can happen when we don't take care of our mental health and when we don't talk about mental health, but there's also a lot of hope for people if you are struggling. So I really like to share that story, give them those resources, and then we end the More Than program with a conversation about, just stigma, overcoming mental health stigma, what it is, what we can do to be more compassionate. I created something called the More Than Stigma Pledge, which is 7 steps to commit people to talking about mental illness in a way that's empathetic rather than stigmatizing. And then I always leave people with the message that they are so much more than whatever struggle it is they're facing. Because the reality is we all face struggles. Right. We may not all live every single day with a mental health diagnosis like my siblings did, but we all struggle. And, especially for the young people that I'm speaking to, I know they're struggling. And I always just want to leave them with that message that they are so much more than whatever that struggle is. And that really stemmed from during my brother's life and in the thick of his addiction, he would look me in the eye and say that he didn't feel worthy of recovery and he felt he was nothing more than his addiction. And that stuck with me. And that's really what inspired all of this. That's why we call it the More Than program. That's why it's the focus of our message. And I just hope that I leave everyone who I present to or who I even just meet out in the community as Miss Delaware USA with that message that they are worthy and loved and that they're so much more than whatever it is they're going through.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I feel the passion every time you speak on this. And even though I know you, obviously, outside of, this interview. I know you, and I know your work ethic, and I know your personality. Every time I hear about the story and your mission, you hear your heart is so involved. And that's what it's all about. Randy, we talk about this all the time about, you know, a pageant and a beauty queen. It's so much, so much more than a pretty crown.
Right.
It's so much more than a sash and the hair and the makeup, which we love because we love beauty here, especially at Pronto. We love the beauty world, but it's so much more, and the message is so much stronger. And it's very inspirational. And we talk about mental health and how we have to overcome that stigma that you shouldn't be embarrassed. Let's have that
Right.
conversation, right? Let's continue the conversation, not just for females, but for males as well.
Yeah.
And that's something that, talking about it, offering these resources. And I love that you do that. I love that you offer education, resources. You've implemented a program that you could go into schools, and that's what it's all about. And with the title of Miss Delaware USA, you're taking the whole world by storm.
Right.
So just to kind of touch on that, what did it feel like when you were crowned, or when they announced your name as Miss Delaware USA 2024?
Incredible, amazing. I mean, you hear it all the time during crowning moments. You black out. You don't remember. People ask me about that night, like, what was I thinking? What were you and the first runner-up saying to each other? I have no idea. I don't remember. That night is a blur, but it's just so thrilling and exciting. And then, once you go home and you see the crown on your head in the mirror and you realize it's real, it's just so rewarding because it's the culmination of a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. They see that one night of competition and what you brought on stage, but people don't realize that it's months and months, and in my case, really years of working on myself and becoming the best version of myself to achieve this. And so I was just really proud of myself above all.
Yeah, no,
once it set in.
I'm curious about your leadership degree. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So I actually got that degree for free, and I will brag about that anytime I get a chance. And it's through pageants, actually. So I've been competing in pageants pretty much my whole life. But I competed in scholarship pageants growing up for 10 years. And so I racked up a lot of scholarship money, which was amazing and certainly made my parents really happy.
Oh, look at this.
On my journey, I actually won a pageant. I had been awarded the title of Miss Philadelphia, and with that came a full tuition scholarship to Cabrini University to pursue my master's degree.
Wow.
And they had this wonderful program in leadership. I figured, everyone needs to be a leader. There's certainly no industry where you wouldn't use a leadership degree. So I was just so honored to be able to receive that degree. I just graduated in August with my master's. So proud that I was able to do it. And I never would have imagined myself getting a master's degree. It wasn't wasn't something I thought about, but it's an opportunity that was made available to me because of pageantry. One of many, many things that was made available to me that I never could have really dreamed of without pageants.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And I love that you're able to continue to share those stories and your experiences as a title holder, and with this new chapter as you are getting ready for Miss USA, which is super big. It is the Super Bowl of all pageants, Randy. Did you know that?
I heard.
You heard? Okay. Yes. Oh, I love that photo of us, Alysa. So for those just tuning in or maybe just watching and not know where this was at the actual state pageant. This was at the Miss Delaware USA, Miss Delaware Teen USA pageant. This photo was taken on the stage literally moments after they announced the winners, because we announced Miss Delaware USA, which was Alysa, and then Kayla. Oh, there's Kayla. Yep, Kayla Kosmolsky, Miss Delaware Teen USA 2024. And it was just a proud moment to be able to take the photos with you ladies. And I have actually a listener viewer asking a question. Oh, I like this question, right? It's what gives you, I guess, so the question, I'm going to reword it just a little bit. What gives you your strength?
I think, really, especially in terms of, pushing through losing my brother and continuing the advocacy that I would do, I would say seeing the impact that I've had. I've been on numerous occasions, I've been in schools or at a speaking engagement, and I've had people come up to me and say, "You have no idea how much your story means to me," or "I felt so alone. I also, lost my mom to an overdose and found it really hard to talk about it. And I can't believe that someone like you who wears a crown experienced the same thing." And it's those moments when I realize that I'm touching people's lives and potentially changing people's lives that gives me the strength to keep going, because it certainly is hard to, talk about the most tragic thing that's ever happened to you over and over and over again. But I have the strength to keep doing it, because almost every single time that I do it, someone comes up to me and tells me about the impact that it had. And it gives me that strength and motivation to keep doing it for other people.
Yes. And it's definitely healthy for you, because it almost is like therapy, right? You're pouring into, something that obviously you see there's a need for. And you saw there was a need for, mental health awareness and advocacy. You saw that, and you're pouring into it, and you're raising awareness for it, and you're using your title to amplify this. If you say it, it is a problem we are dealing with. There's a crisis happening throughout not just the state of Delaware, the entire country. They're in the entire world. There is a crisis, and you are bringing awareness to something that is very important.
Everybody knows somebody that's been affected.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
know several people.
Mm-hmm. And Alysa, I know that you're using obviously this platform to continue you're using this title with continue your initiative and promoting the platform, your passion platform, I love to call it. But just to shift gears a little bit, I want to talk about Miss USA. I really want to get into it because it's an exciting time. It's the highlight of the year. It really is, because there's so much that goes into it in preparing. Could you share with all of us a little bit about your prep for Miss USA?
Absolutely. It has been a whirlwind since I was crowned. So Miss USA is a little earlier this year than it was last year. And I will be leaving at the end of July, competing early August. So happening soon. I have about 6 weeks. I was crowned at the end of April. So it has been a sprint to Miss USA. I joke that prepping for Miss USA is a full-time job, and that has been my full-time job for the last few weeks. But I'm also having so much fun doing it. When you know that you put the work in, and it's almost like second nature just doing that prep. It's really just an enjoyable experience, and honestly hasn't really been a stressful one. So I'm having so much fun putting my wardrobe together. Of course, we went to Giovanni in New York City a few weeks ago to design my dream gown for Miss USA that I'm so excited to see and wear on stage. We're in the process of designing my state costume, which I'll wear on stage with all 50 other states. We put together a costume that is representative of our state in some way. So those are some of the fun things that have been happening. But then, of course, also some really hard work, working with the personal trainer at the gym really often just to stay on top of my health and fitness. And then, of course, interview prep, prepping for that private interview with the judges, as well as that, sometimes dreaded onstage questions. So watching the news, staying up with current events, doing mock interviews, and really just staying sharp and preparing for that interview.
What do you think, Randy? Do you think she will do well in interview?
She got my vote.
Right. And I think that's your superpower, Alysa. You have obviously a heart of gold, and your work ethic is just tremendous. But I do feel that your superpower is that you have a gift with your words, and the way that you present yourself, and especially with your words, it's remarkable. I mean, very charismatic and just remarkable and inspiring. And every time I witness you speak, I'm always like, oh wow, like you captivate an audience.
A leader.
Yes, a leader. Thanks to the Cabrini University.
And that degree to use.
Right, education is key, right, Randy? Right. So
thank you.
Let's say, okay, what? As you are preparing for Miss USA and through everything that you're going through, and obviously I have front row seats to prep with for Miss USA. Share with Randy a little bit about maybe what to tune in or to expect. Maybe he's still learning a little bit about pageant world. So how could we?
I love the pageant.
I know you do, but I mean, just saying, like, let's say like Miss USA is, we say, is the Super Bowl of all pageants, right? We say it's the Super Bowl of all pageants, but what makes it special? What makes it unique from all the other pageants?
Well, a lot of people don't know that Miss USA goes to Miss Universe. So Miss USA isn't just, a national outlook. It's a global thing,
Yes.
and it has global reach. And I'm amazed every day. I have people on Instagram and social media platforms from the Philippines and people across the world tagging me in things, and fans of Miss Universe. So, it is that iconic
Mhm.
brand. When people think of pageants, they think of Miss Universe, Miss USA. And, we're really proud of that brand, and it is going to be televised again this year. So be sure to tune in on the CW on August 4th.
Yes, you'll be watching, right?
I will.
Okay, good. Just making sure. I know he will
Do
be.
we get to vote at home?
I'm sure they'll, I don't know if they're going to do people's choice voting at this level. Sometimes they offer it, sometimes they don't. We'll see, but tune in. And the best way to follow Alysa's journey is go to her social media. So just check out at Miss DEUSA on all social media platforms. You can even follow Alyssa's personal Instagram page. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, it's at Alysa Bainbridge. Or you should also, MissDelawareUSA.com. Go check out the website for more information. But if you really want to tune in and just, follow live, go to the Instagram pages. The social media platforms are the best way to tune in quickly, fast, to see what's happening next, and also support the platform, Alyssa's platform, Tyler's Triumph. You have an Instagram page. I have to go follow it. I don't even think I follow it, Alyssa. So I have to make sure I'm following that. I am so
Go
excited.
follow.
It's really beautiful to see how active you have been and you continue to be, and that you're using this title to amplify your voice on a much larger scale. And as you prepare for Miss USA, it's just kind of like, okay, I know my why, right? You know your why. Why are you doing this, right? You know why you're doing it. Is there anything else that you would love to share with our viewers and listeners that we did not touch on yet that you wanted to mention?
I think if there's any young women out there watching, especially, you talk a lot about beauty, and, there's so many women I've met who said, oh, I could never do a pageant. I'm not a girly girl. I'm not that mold. I want you to know, if you're watching and you have any interest at all in competing in a pageant, and especially if you're in Delaware and you want to compete for Miss Delaware USA, give it a shot, because I just can't stress enough how life-changing this experience in pageantry has been for me. I shared what it's done for me academically and scholastically. It certainly has helped me professionally. I always say that before pageants, I was a shy 5-year-old girl. I hid behind my mom. I would not talk to strangers. And I really did pageants because I admired the women that did them and I wanted to be like them, but I never really quite believed that I would be. And it was through doing it for years and years and years, and not always having success. I lost probably more pageants than I competed in, but it's truly made me who I am. And I'm now pursuing a career in public speaking and TV broadcasting, which you never would have believed if you met 5-year-old me. And I have pageants to thank for that, for the public speaking skills, the confidence to be pursuing those goals in the first place. So I can't speak highly enough about pageants and what they do for young women, the platform that they give young women. And so if you are interested in it, even at all, just consider doing it. And there is no mold. The beautiful part is that every pageant queen, every Miss Delaware USA, Miss USA is different from the other. They have different life stories, different platforms. And I believe that it's the woman that makes the title holder. So any interest at all, go sign up and do a pageant, because you have no idea where it will take you, and how big your life can be changed by it.
I just want to hug you right now. I mean, it's so true. It's so true. I mean, like Alysa says it perfectly. She's going through it firsthand experience. And I love that you said, just give it a shot. And that's what it's all about. Just try, step out of your comfort zone just one time, give it a shot. And I love that you said that. And that's what it's all about. And it does take a village, right? We talk about this all the time, Alysa. It truly takes a village. And a shout out to your awesome family. They're the wonderful support system. All of them, every individual, and your friends and family, but also your sponsors. And we talk about this all the time, with the sponsors are the backbone of the organization. And, that's something that we touch on often. And if this is something, if there are any sponsors you want to give a shout out to, highlight, please feel free to do that.
Oh, well, of course, I have to thank Curry Hair, Skin, and Nails
Wow.
for being an incredible sponsor of Miss Delaware USA. They are
Thank you.
way too good, not only to our title holders, but to all of our contestants. They gave us these beautiful gift bags at our orientation and then during pageant weekend. And they are so, so good to us all year round. So Randy, I have to thank you personally while I'm here and I have the opportunity for your sponsorship. And of course, to all of our sponsors, because none of this would happen without your support. And we appreciate it so much.
That's so true. Yes, Randy. And just to,
Thank you.
Highlight that. Yes.
I have a question.
Oh.
Give us something that people don't know about you. That's like, you love chocolate ice cream or whatever, like that would surprise people.
Well, I love pasta. I pretty much only eat pasta. No, I'm kidding. But people are shocked by the amount of pasta that I eat. I can put away a whole bowl of pasta, no problem. So that's shocking about me. But a fun thing to know about me also outside of, pageant life and professional life, my biggest personality trait is being a Frenchie mom. So I am obsessed with my French bulldog, Penelope, and any free time I have is spent with her. I take her to the beach. I take her shopping with me anywhere we're allowed to go. And she's just my whole heart and more.
Does Penelope have like a crown or a crown bag or a crown, like she wears like a crown pajama? Or
Of course, we have matching outfits, several matching outfits. She has numerous crowns, and you can go follow her on Instagram too. She is literally at Penny the Pageant Pup.
I didn't know this. This is definitely a great question, Randy. I had no idea. Oh my goodness. Well, that's so great. So what inspired you to obviously give Penelope her moment to shine?
Well, because pageants are such a big part of my life, and she's a princess. I picked the name Penelope because I thought it was a princess name, and I bought her own crown, and I was like thinking of cute Instagram names, and I like alliteration, so I said Penny the Pageant Pup. I love it. And now we call her Miss Doggy Wear USA.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I love it. Well, I'm sure Penelope is very honored to be your mom. And that's your fur baby, which is so cute, so cute. I have to go follow Randy. Don't forget to follow. We have to give
all the things
her moment to shine.
Frenchies have personalities like.
Oh yeah, she does. She's a diva.
She's a diva. Oh my goodness. Well, Alysa, as we're winding down the interview, at the end of all of our podcasts, we always like to ask our guests this traditional last question. So the question is, if you could chat with anyone from the past or present on a podcast, who would it be and why?
I think because of the season of life that I'm in right now and Miss USA is such a focus, I would love to chat with the first ever Miss USA. Just about how far the program has come and pageantry has come, and to see how the opportunity changed her life. And I think it would just be a real cool opportunity to share with the world, the roots of Miss USA, our Super Bowl of pageantry, quintessence of pageantry. I think it would be really cool to be able to talk to her and evaluate just how things have changed and maybe how things haven't changed, and how iconic that brand is.
Very true. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I would like to also listen in on that in that interview. Well, Alysa, thank you so much for joining us. And I know Randy and I are very proud of you and all of your hard work. We watch, we have front row seats and we talk about it often, but it's an honor to be a part of your journey. I know Randy says it all the time to me. So just to reiterate, he is honored to be a sponsor of yours and to be a part of this organization, and, very excited to cheer you on at Miss USA. But more importantly, we wish you so much luck I know we got more work to do, so we're not done yet, but thank you so much for joining us. And for anyone tuning in, just make sure you go follow Alyssa's journey at Miss DE USA on all social media platforms. You can follow her personal Instagram page at Alysa Bainbridge. Also follow her initiative and her passion platform at Tyler's Triumph. And visit MissDelawareUSA.com if you're interested in sponsoring Alyssa's journey. We're always looking for sponsors. We always are open-hearted, open-minded to welcome new sponsors and support. And thank you again, Alysa, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll see you soon. Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
she's
I'm so
great.
proud of her.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't she just amazing?
Yeah, she's really well spoken, and
Yes.
like her attitude, you can tell she's
Mhm.
passionate about her
Yes.
cause and
Mhm.
pageantry.
But I love that she touched on this, and I appreciate it because obviously, you know, my background in pageantry and I speak on it myself, but I love that she highlighted the fact that pageantry is what that basically gave her the resources, the education, the opportunity to be successful. And she put the work in. You know, she did put the work in, but it shows. It shows that it has opened doors for her. I mean, she's a TV host. She said it earlier. She would have never thought that she'd be able to speak on camera so confidently. And because of pageants and competing all those years, she was able to obtain skills that she applies in her everyday life and career. And that's what pageants are all about.
Yeah. Any recognition in any profession, like I won 2004, I won the Entrepreneur of the Year in London. And, you know, it changed my life because like manufacturers were coming to see me, you know, about, you know, sponsoring me. I'm in college because of L'Oreal. So, you know, it's big.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we wish her so much luck. Make sure you tune in and follow her journey at Miss DE USA, but more so, tune in live.
Yeah.
CW Network, August 4th. Mark that down on your calendars. You can watch Alysa compete for the Super Bowl of all pageants, Miss USA 2024. Very exciting.
How many winners have there been?
Miss USA's?
Yeah.
Oh, I should know that one. So I want to say 72, 70 something. I think it's in the 70s now. Yes, it's been a long time, long standing pageant. Yes, it's been going on for many decades. So it's definitely has a history. So it's really neat to be a part of it. And it's an honor to be a part of the organization, even as the executive state director. I'm honored to be representing, you know, so many incredible women.
Right.
Because it truly is an organization that empowers women. And I'm honored to do that in the state of Delaware. And we have some dynamic women in our state. We really do. You've had the chance to meet some of them. Yeah. Noah Mills.
Yeah.
Miss Delaware USA 2023.
I still follow her.
Yes, exactly. And you've had the chance to meet Grace Lang.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Miss Delaware USA 2022.
Who is a lawyer now.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. She's a lawyer. She finished school at Penn Law.
Wow.
Incredible, right? And then did you meet Drew? Yes, you did. Drew San Clemente, Miss Delaware USA 2021. The doctor. I feel like maybe once I introduced you, but it was a long time ago now, right? She completed her medical degree. She is officially a doctor now.
Wow.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
Really see, incredible. All walks of life. And I love that. Give it a shot. As Alysa says, give it a shot. Well, another great episode. Honored to feature Alysa Bainbridge, Miss Delaware USA 2024. We wish her so much luck as she prepares for Miss USA. Yeah. Here at the Pronto podcast, the production team, we are very honored to be a part of her journey, and we wish her lots of luck. But again, thank you for tuning in. High five. Yep. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you stay tuned for our next episodes. We're always looking for guests. So if you're interested, I said this earlier in the episode, I'm going to say it again. If you're interested in being featured on our Pronto podcast, go to prontopodcast.com. The website is up and ready to go. So you can sign up to be featured as one of our guests in our next episode. We're always looking for guests, but we're also looking for sponsors as well. So I wanted to sponsor a segment. Visit prontopodcast.com for more information, and we will see you soon. Pronto, Randy.
Pronto, Vincenzo.